Hi guys and girls, welcome to Zilla Cabs. If you've been watching the videos recently, you'll have seen that we haven't had the best of luck with vintage speakers.
Yeah.
I've been on a bit of a spending spree or hunting spree trying to find some vintage speakers, and we have had bad luck. And we've been wanting to do a little video recording of some of our favourite vintage speakers. So we thought, why not get out a combo that we know works well and has some really good speakers in.
Yeah.
And as it goes, these are about my favourite speakers. The speakers in this combo, this is a Marshall Artiste combo. It's quite a hated combo, I think. But the speakers are fantastic, and they are the H greenbacks, the 55 hertz bass resonance, and these ones are from 73. So they have the Pulsonic cones. So you may have heard about them before. It's the factory that used to supply Celestion with their cones up until about 73 when it burnt down. I think you can find some Celestions with the cones on in 74 from Celestion's leftover stock.
So as Paul was saying there, these amps, I think Jim Marshall himself said that he wasn't very happy with this design.
I think I read in the Marshall book from the early 90s that his only regret was this amp.
I take a wild stab here, but they probably didn't sell as well because they don't have the classic sort of Marshall. Well, they're clean basically, aren't they? They're clean all the way up. So
I used to gig one of these when I used a lot of pedals, and I didn't actually. At the time, I wouldn't have had the guts to lift it right up. This is maybe like 20 years ago, and so I really liked it. But maybe that was why, because it's quite a clean amp. But when they came out in the early 70s, everyone was still getting their drive sounds really by just pushing their amps so hard.
Yeah.
And this just doesn't do that.
No, this was designed as well as like an all-round amplifier, so it's designated as bass and organ, lead, bass and organ. So lead was always for guitar. Marshall called the guitar amps lead amps, and then it's got bass and organ channels in this amp as well. So it's a little bit of a hidden gem though, I think, because plugging into it, and if you've got some pedals on the floor, it's a really great platform for that sort of thing. So it's just get a really massive clean sound that lets you just sort of paint whatever picture you want with it.
And the reverb on this, I tend not to use reverb at all, really, but the reverb on this is one of my favourites. Absolutely love it.
On this particular one?
On this amp itself, the reverb doesn't work, does it?
No, I don't think so.
It just adds a load of noise, but no reverb. Worst of both worlds. We've actually got another one where the reverb does work when the amp's working, and it sounds fantastic. I love that.
But yeah, as Paul was saying, this video is about the speakers really. So what I've done is I've got both speakers mic'd up. I use an SM57 and the Tull G12 that we use all the time here. And yeah, just play through a bunch of different styles with the Strat and the Porritt Smith, just to show what these speakers can do. And I think they just sound really great, these speakers.
Yeah, I love them. And I know this is about the speakers, but I want to talk about the cabinet itself on the combo.
Oh yeah.
I love this design. It's kind of an old school. I don't know how to explain it really. The baffle goes in from the front, and there's some pine battens, and it's screwed in from the back, and it's not a particularly efficient way. It's not a particularly focused sound. It's kind of leaning towards it's not a floating baffle, but it's kind of leaning that way a little bit. There's a lot of flex on the baffle.
So structurally it's not like the stiffest sort of cab that you can...
So you get quite a lot of flex, and it's not very deep at all. It's 230 deep. Incidentally, the same as our small vintage, which was the first cab we ever made, and I was playing one of these at the time, so take what you will from that. So it's tall, not very deep. There's a lot of baffle there, a lot of flex, and I think it introduces its own sound into there, and everything mixed with those speakers. Just love it.
Yeah, that baffle design definitely has a big influence on the dynamics, I think, as well.
Yeah.
The way that like when you put some energy into the guitar, the way that energy is exerted in the speakers all kind of flexes together and becomes one big thing, doesn't it? So, all right, what else is there to say there?
Right, we've said that about... one last thing, we talk about the 55 hertz.
Yeah.
Okay, one other kind of key feature of this speaker in particular is it's the 55 hertz version. I didn't actually realise they had these in these combos, but you just pointed out it's the lead and bass. So I guess they've gone for the bass version of the speaker to allow you to use bass. I mean, I think this is the last amp I'd ever use a bass for, but so it gives the bass resonance is at 55 hertz rather than 75. You may have seen some of our recent videos where we did the Heritage H, which is a speaker that we love. It's just the modern day equivalent of this.
So just to briefly explain that there, back in the day, Celestion speakers, they weren't sort of different designs for bass guitar or normal guitar. They were similar speakers just with a different cone, and those cones were 75 hertz for guitar and 55 hertz for bass.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's nice to have some vintage speakers that worked in this video. We'll get onto the playing in a second, but before we do that, if you enjoy this sort of thing, please take a minute to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. Give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment. Let me know what you think of the way these speakers sounding. So yeah, here we go. I need to make a quick apology here. When I started playing the guitar and filming, I didn't realise how cold it was, and the camera got warm, and it's a bit of condensation on the back of the lens. But yeah, bear with it. It's the audio we're interested in mainly. I don't think you really need to worry about what I look like. So.